In seat 1, we have me, I'm Eddie the Fun Player, wearing a fuzzy cowboy hat and a Linkin Park sweater with the Meteora album cover art. Seat 2, we have DGAF, aka DGAF, Billy. This show is called DGAF's Live Poker Show, so as you can tell, it's his show. Seat 3, we have Nate Hill. He is a pro gamer, he models, he plays golf, and he plays poker. Seat 4 is Old Man Beer. He likes beer, and he's a very cool guy. Seat 5, we have Eddie T. He is great, and he gives lots of action. Very fun to have at the table. Seat 6 is Julia from Palmdale. She has funny table talk and is also super fun to play with. In seat 7, we have DJ Washburn. Amazing DJ and an amazing human being. Also a good presence at the table. Seat 8 is a Texas legend, DQ. He is an avid gamer in the casino industry, not only playing poker, but slots, UTH, 4-card poker. Check out his social media. He posts some awesome content. And seat 9 is Zohar, a super cool dude. We have a sideline reporter, Melissa Kay, my extremely talented and beautiful better half. She has some great interviews in this stream with DJ Washburn, DQ, DGAF, and Nate Hill. Check out the full show. This is a different type of poker show where the chat can interact with players in real time because there are no hole cards. The link is going to be in the description of the video. All right, on to some poker. So we buy in for $2,500. There's a $50 button straddle. I call. Billy makes it $200, and Eddie T calls in the middle position. When it gets back to me, I have ace 9 of spades. I have fold equity. So I jam to just pick up the pot, or if I get called, I hope my equity is decent enough. So I go all in.
Alright, I'll double someone up, all in.
All in?
Double me up, Eddie. You deserve it.
Told you. How big is that? Like,
anyone today?
So Billy calls and he has ace jack,
How big is it?
and so we don't get it in great shape here. But let's see, we ran it twice.
I want you to win both. No, I do. I want you to win. I want you to win both. No,
I'll take all the money.
Double him up.
you guys are chopping.
I want you to win both. Where's the spade or the 9?
This one's you.
Spade. 9. There it is.
Oh,
all right.
Dude, why?
Hey,
Spades.
Eddie, how do I not teach you this?
There, he flopped it. I can't. Oh,
I end up winning 75% of this spot. I win the first board.
fucking show up.
Billy flops the nuts on the second board, but we end up chopping. DQ's disgusted I didn't run it once.
Learn.
Oh, wait.
One time.
Yeah.
You win so much money right now. I don't know how I got 2/3 from that.
On the second flop, I was like, this is stupid. He can't even win, but at least we got the best result.
Alright, in this next hand, I'm in the straddle, and Nate makes it 100. Old Man Beer calls. Eddie T calls. Julia calls. There's so much dead money in the pot. I already, am planning on going all in. I look at my hand, it's 5-4 offsuit. Not the best, but I have some fold equity. My stack's about $1,300. So that's what I do. I go all in. A little bit out of turn. Sorry, DQ. And then it gets to Old Man Beer, who also goes all in. And that's the moment I realize that versus a strong hand. Old Man Beer has ace-king offsuit. And I looked it up. My hand versus his hand is actually, I have 38%. So I'm not in that bad of a shape. When you account the 12% of the time that everyone folds, me justifying a bad play starts to make sense. Though I do end up losing on both boards. We rebuy for $2,000. We win a couple hands, so our stack is at $2,800. In this hand, I have ace-deuce offsuit. In early position, I raise it up to 120. Eddie T calls and DQ calls. They're out of position. The flop is ace-ace-9 with a flush draw. I flop trips. DQ bets 200. He leads into the field. I think he could be doing this with a flush draw or a 9 or a smaller pocket pair and sometimes a better ace than me with a better kicker. So I just call. Eddie T calls too, and I put Eddie T on sort of a similar range as DQ. The turn is an offsuit jack, and they both check to me. Now I don't think they have an ace, and I think they might actually, most of the time, have a draw or a 2-pair holding. I want to bet for value. I bet an amount that I think those hands will call while leaving a good amount of money to jam all in on the river to give them a good price to call me. I bet 900 into a $960 pot and only DQ calls. The river is an ace, so we definitely have the best hand. DQ checks and I go for value, betting $1,700 into 2,700, and DQ calls with what I assume is a full house. Alright, so now I'm up a little bit. I'm in for 4,500 and I have about, I don't know, $5,600 in my stack. I have 7-6 of diamonds. I raise it to 70 in early position. DGAF, Eddie T, and Zohar call. The flop is King, Jack, 9 with 3 diamonds, so I flop a flush. So I go ahead and bet $100. DGAF calls, and Eddie T raises to 600. Interestingly enough, Zohar calls. So this is an interesting spot because if somebody has a bigger flush, I'm way behind. But also a straight is possible on this board. You know, 2 pairs. Not many sets because nobody 3-bet pre-flop, right? But maybe they have 2 pair like a Jack 9. Or maybe they have, someone has an ace of diamonds, flush draw, or queen of diamonds, 10 of diamonds, flush draw, things like that. So I go ahead and just, you know, I'll multi-way. I decide I want to get all the money in on the flop to deny equity from hands that can outdraw me, and to also get value from like straights maybe or lower flushes, maybe even 2 pairs, and if somebody trapped with pocket 9s pre-flop. So I make it 3,000. DGAF tanks, but he folds. Eddie T goes all in. And I'm like, shit, I might not have the best hand, you know? But the pot's so big and I have a little bit behind relative to the size of the pot and the odds I'm getting, so after Zohar folds, I make the call. And we do get our money in good. Eddie T has a lower flush. We run it twice, and we hold. So this is the biggest pot I played. This was about we go ahead and win a almost 12K pot. Alright, so I'm in for 45, stacks at 12K. The session's going great, except that bad things start to happen. I lose some pots to Eddie T and DQ. They both make some hands when I have a hand, and I think DQ, try to bluff catch him with a weak hand. That one was probably unnecessary. And then DJ Washburn just jammed all in pre-flop when I 3-bet with ace-4 of spades, and I was so tilted I called. I lost that. That one lost me about $3,000. So I'm on a downswing.
Is that true?
I have 4-6 of clubs. I get most of my stack in versus Julia pre-flop, and then all in on the flop. We run it twice, and I'm just dead because she has an ace.
And I'm so poor.
I rebuy for a third time for 2K, so I'm in for a grand total of 6.5K. I get pocket kings, all in pre-flop, and I chop it, run it twice.
Ooh. Okay, take it back.
Then I get aces, I play it to the river, and then Eddie T leads the river when an ace makes a straight, and I just know he has a straight. I don't even raise, I just call, because I know we're chopping. So yeah, I'm pretty tilted, and then this hand happens. DJ Washburn raises to 110 pre-flop. I have 10-3 offsuit, so I call. DGAF calls, Nate Hill calls, and Eddie T calls. The flop is 5 ways. It's queen, 6, 3, rainbow. So I have bottom pair. DJ Washburn bets $130. I call. Eddie T calls. I'm losing to a bunch of hands, but maybe I could get lucky on the turn. Turns a 6, and it brings a backdoor flush draw. I have wishful thinking that somebody turned a flush draw. Or somebody has 5-4, they're open-ended. Always looking for a reason to stay in hands and make aggressive plays. DJ Washburn bets $520 into a $1,000 pot. That's a little strong, but, I try to represent the 6, and he could be bluffing with a draw. At least that's what I tell myself. So I go all in
was
for about
concerned.
1,500, hoping to get a fold
Oh,
or
very
my money in
cool.
good.
Say hi to the
But Eddie
fam.
T calls.
Glad you're hanging out with
So
family.
now I know I'm just losing. And that's confirmed on the river when Eddie T value bets.
Got the 6.
And I lose this buy-in, which means I lose $6,500 on this session.
Around here.
It's late,
Wow.
I'm tired, I'm tilted, and I decided it's time to go home. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment below.